Hi, welcome to my kitchen. I think cooking brings family and friends together. The smells, the taste, they can bring back such wonderful childhood memories. Pepperoni rolls do that for me. They're a time-honored tradition in our family, and since my grandmother passed, it's now my job to bring the pepperoni rolls to the family gatherings. Today I'm going to show you what you need, how to prepare, and how to bake pepperoni rolls so that you can share them with your friends and family. So let's get started. The first thing you need to do is go and get a basic hot roll mix and a stick of pepperoni from the store. I like Pillsbury. I think it's idiot proof and it always works wonderfully every time I make pepperoni rolls. 1 7-ounce stick of pepperoni and 1 box of hot roll mix will make you probably about 120 rolls. The first thing that we do is we take the pepperoni and we chop it up into pieces. Now, I like to buy the stick pepperoni because I think it tastes better. You can buy prepackaged, pre-cut pepperoni, but I don't think it adds as much pepperoni flavor to your rolls. So this is the kind I prefer to use. It takes a little bit extra time with the chopping, but I think it's worth it. So when you take out the pepperoni out of the package, you're going to want to remove the casing that's on the pepperoni. It's kind of greasy, so when you remove the casing, it'll definitely lessen the grease and it's easier to chop. Then you want to chop it up into small bite-sized pieces, about this size, about the size that you want to pop in your mouth. Next, you're going to want to follow the directions on the hot roll mix to prepare the mix. It comes with the flour and the yeast. You dump that in the bowl, mix it all up. Then you're going to want to add your egg, 2 tablespoons of softened butter, and 1 cup of hot water. Hotter than what comes out of your faucet. You're going to want to microwave it for at least a minute just to make sure that it's hot. You don't want it boiling, but hot. It's got yeast, so that's why you're going to make it hot. Chop up your margarine because it's easier to mix in your dough. Mix it all up. Once it starts to pull away from the sides, you're going to want to take some of your flour from your cabinet, just a little bit, and sprinkle it on your dough. Sprinkle it on your hands. And then use the dough and knead it. You're going to want to knead it for a few minutes, and then you're going to want to set it aside and let it rest. While the dough is resting, go ahead and grease your pans. If you have a pan about this size, you're going to probably need about 3 of them in order to make the pepperoni rolls. Maybe 4. It depends on how big and small you make your rolls. So go ahead and grease up your pans. Once your dough has rested for a few minutes, then take a little piece of it, take one of your pieces of pepperoni, and just roll the dough around it into a ball shape. You want to make sure that the pepperoni is completely covered and the dough goes all the way around it. You don't want too much dough because then it's more of a doughy roll. You want just about the same amount of pepperoni as you do dough. Put it on your pan and do the next one. Go through all of them until you filled up all your pans. This is the longest part of the process, so it's not a fast appetizer to make, but they're very tasty. Once you have them all rolled, you're going to want to cover them with some towels and let them rise. It takes about a half an hour to rise, and they should double in size. You want to keep them in like an 80 or 90 degree temperature, not just on your counter in like a 70 degree room. You're going to want to, like on today's hot day, put them outside to rise. Once they're risen to double their size, put them in the oven. About halfway through the rising process, you're going to want to preheat your oven to 375. Put your rolls in, set your timer for 7 minutes. Now the box is going to tell you to cook them for about 15 minutes, but that's way too long for pepperoni rolls. Check them after 7 minutes. Make sure that they're like a golden, light golden on the top. They'll be a little bit darker golden on the bottom, which is kind of hard to see when they're in the oven. They shouldn't be hardly golden at all on top. That is a perfect pepperoni roll. If you get them too dark, they get stale faster and they're harder and not as enjoyable to eat. Once they're cooked, let them cool for a minute, pop them in a bowl, and they're ready to serve. If you're not ready to serve them, you can stick them in a Ziploc bag and put them in the fridge for a couple of days. They'll last for about 3 to 4 days. And when you take them out, just put them in a microwave, pop them in there for a few seconds just to get them warm again, and it'll be just like you made them fresh. They're a wonderful treat that I'm sure all of your friends and family will love. So today I've showed you how to make pepperoni rolls. I've told you what you need to buy, how to prepare them, and how to bake them. I hope your friends and family enjoy them as much as mine do. And as my dad used to say, pepperoni always makes the rolls taste better. Enjoy!